What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the politics and BS. Now, I told you guys I was going to be sharing more content with you, especially with regards to politics, but more so from the perspective of other people that are talking about it, because not to say that I can't sit and articulate myself when it comes to this, but we already know politics is extremely controversial, and it's even more ignited with a lot of the things that are being interjected in this field, because politics has always been messy. It's always been full of a lot of BS. But now that we have somebody who is running that is a person that has over 90, think about that, over 90 indictments is crazy. And I feel that this person is someone that plays on the fears of a lot of the people that are so diehard followers of him. I'm not here to knock anybody that said they voted for him before or even wants to vote for him again. A lot of people, they vote either their convictions or they vote their personal interests when it comes to their bottom line. So I completely understand that. But for a lot of the people who follow him and that are supporters and call themselves MAGA, they don't even realize that they're voting against their own personal interests, because a lot of those people, their financial situations are not in the tax bracket that this man even cares about. But he plays on the emotions and also the fears of these people, especially going into the religion bullcrap, to make them feel like this is their guy. And so I want to play this. This is from someone that I am subscribed to, Tennesseebrando. And I really like the way he speaks because it's straight to the point. And also it comes out of the mouth and face of someone that if people judge books by their cover, if they were to look at him, they would assume that he is a Trump supporter. So I feel that it's necessary to get the word out from people like this who are talking about it. So I want to go ahead and get into what he had to say. So let's just go ahead and play this audio.
You know, every day someone accuses me of spreading hyperbole when it comes to Donald Trump. They'll say that I'm getting everybody worked up and stoked up over nothing, when really all I'm doing is just pointing out the things that he says. And of course I get hit with, well, you didn't understand what he said, or he really didn't mean it that way, or you took it out of context, or he did mean it, but that's okay. He has the right to say whatever he wants to say. We go back and forth with these people all the time. But I would argue that Donald Trump's entire platform is nothing but fear and hyperbole. If he didn't have fear, paranoia, conspiracy theories to fuel his base, he would be completely out of gas. And for those that disagrees with me, I want you to take a look at this next clip and listen to the fear, the misinformation, and the hyperbole that the dude is spreading. Roll the clip.
And we could talk about inflation, which is the worst in 57 years. We could talk about the economy, which is terrible, except for a very elite few people. It's terrible. But between those two things, I mean, you look, if you didn't make a fortune, if you didn't go up 120%, you're losing. You're way behind because inflation, bacon, 4 times the cost of what it was 3 years ago. Think of it. Groceries are through the roof. Energy is through the roof. And by the way, going up again. Inflation now is going up again.
I want to pause there for a moment because, again, this is about how he stokes on the fears of the people that are following him for the most part that really don't have it like that. And when you consider the fact that he's talking about groceries are through the roof, bacon is through the roof, which is laughable to me when he just had a dinner for his fundraisers where they were paying, what was it? Like $800,000 a plate. So I don't think this is someone that needs to be talking about the cost of groceries being through the roof. But that, again, is playing on the fears and the anger and the emotions of the people who are not in his tax bracket that he needs their votes.
They're going to lower interest rates because they want to try and get through this election, which is having a hard time because every single poll says that we're leading in the election. Now, don't get too excited because they cheat like hell. That's all they're good at. Misinformation, disinformation, and cheating.
So low information, misinformation, and cheating. He really wants to go there? Again, every accusation from these people are a confession as to who they really are. And you would have to be a total moron to believe that bacon has went up 4 times the price that it was in 2020. Anyone who's been to the grocery store in the last couple of days knows that that's bullshit. It was fact-checked really quick, and I said to myself, I really don't have to read this because I shop and I eat bacon, and I know that bacon ain't 4 times the price that it was in 2020. Back in 2020, the average price of bacon was $5.83 a pound. Today, it's $6.77 a pound. So Donald Trump is either lying or he really sucks at math, one or the other. But he will go out there and continue to push this shit. And it's funny to me how he says they want to lower interest rates because they want to run on that like they're doing a good thing. Meanwhile, they will stand back and tell you to your face that they're not going to fix the border because they want him to run on it. So they're mad at Joe Biden for fixing something that he can run on, but they're okay with the guy for not fixing something so he can run on that. Can someone make that make sense to me? And can someone make this next clip make sense? Because to me, it's nothing more than fear and hyperbole. Take a look.
You look at Venezuela, you look at some of these countries, their crime rates are way down. Venezuela's crime now is down 67% from last year because they took all of their criminals and crime members and gang members and drug dealers and they put them into the United States of America. But this is happening with many countries. And frankly, if I ran a country, I'd be doing the exact same thing. They're emptying their prisons and jails. They're emptying their mental institutions and insane asylums. You know, somebody said, what's the difference? I said, insane asylum is on steroids. That's Silence of the Lambs. Did anybody see that lovely little movie? Hannibal Lecter, right? This is Hannibal Lecter. Welcome to Hannibal Lecter, because we got a lot of them right now coming into our country and already came into our country. We cannot allow this to happen. We can't let our country be destroyed. I've never seen anything like.
So he just said what we have here is Hannibal Lecter, but I'm the one spreading hyperbole. I'm the one getting people living in fear. I mean, this guy stands up and it's always the insane asylums, the worst of the drug dealers, the worst of people, the worst of humanity is what's coming here. Oh, and by the way, if I was president, I would be sending people away too. He sits there and says those things and people cheers. But he wants to talk about crime going up. Well, the murder rate has dropped. In 2023, the murder rate dropped 13%. That is the single largest decline since 1960. In Trump's final year in office, 2020, murder rate went up 30%. But he won't tell them that because he knows all he has to do is keep pushing the fear, pushing the propaganda, and they'll buy into it. And if the fear-mongering don't work, he can always play one of his favorite hits, which is to find a way to make fun of Joe Biden. Roll this clip.
We're going to get out there. We're fighting like crazy. We've challenged him to a debate. We said, let's go. Let's go, Joe. I don't think he's going to debate. I don't think. And we want drug tests, too, when we do a debate. We're demanding drug tests because he was all jacked up the other night. And, you know, there's a reason when you look at all that cocaine. What happened to the cocaine? They had a lot of cocaine. Isn't that amazing? So it's in a little booth. I knew them well because people would come in. They sit in these booths. There's fingerprints all over the booth. There wasn't one fingerprint in the booth. That means somebody walked in there and did a big number. There wasn't a fingerprint, but I don't know. You know, you hear about that. I think maybe that stuff. What a terrible thing where they said we just can't find the person that put it there, and we have no idea who wanted it. I think I know who wanted it. So look.
So he can always rely on playing that hit. It will work with his audience every time. If we debunk him with facts and evidence, he can always come out and just make fun of Joe Biden and it'll work. And it's truly disgusting that he has an audience sitting there laughing at that crap and people cheering for that crap. You know, the Republican Party once upon a time was the party of my grandfathers. And I can't imagine either grandfather being okay with someone just sitting back and disrespecting a president like that. But they don't think things through before they say it because one minute they tell us he's Sleepy Joe. The next minute they tell us he's Stuttering Joe, that he falls down, that he doesn't know where he is. But then when he comes out and gives a good speech, oh, he must be jacked up on cocaine. They can never just stop and ever entertain the idea of giving the guy credit. And they can never stop and entertain the idea of reaching across the aisle and shaking his hand and working with him. They have to keep pushing their fear and hyperbole. What we have to do is keep pushing a voice of reason, because that's what we have. We have facts and evidence on our side. And at the end of the day, we're going to be on the right side of history. Now, I know I get repetitive with a whole lot of my talking points. I say a lot of the same things in each video. That's because there's new listeners appearing here every day, discovering me for the first time. And also because in my 25 years as a musician, there's one thing that I learned. And that is the reason that songs become standards is because they got drilled in people's head.
All right, so I want to stop it right there. I have a link to his full video in the description box, but I agree with so much of what he said because it's just really true. A lot of the people that sit and listen to him, they're being entertained, so they'll sit and giggle and laugh when he calls the current president either he's, dead man walking or he's hopped up on coke. Like, it's crazy also to say things like, well, if I'm not going to be elected, then it's going to be a bloodbath. And then again, like Tennessee Brando said in the beginning of the video, it's like he can say things and then when people call him out on it, oh, well, you just took it out of context. What about you saying what you mean and meaning what you say? And no, it wasn't taken out of context because he wasn't talking about the auto market. He was talking about, if I'm not reelected, watch out, because he doesn't have to be out there doing it. He stokes the emotions of these people that follow him to do his bidding. That's why all of those lunatics went to the Capitol on January 6th and did what they did. And if you've watched any of those close-up videos, those people were savages. I don't care what anyone says. I know if you look at the faraway footage and you don't really pay it much attention, it just looks like little ants that were sprawling up fences, and maybe some of them got into the Capitol and they were just going into some of the offices and sitting in the chairs and spinning around and putting their feet up on the desk like they were, little kids who the substitute teacher went away to the bathroom and then they were just playing around. No, these people were savages, okay? And he's stoking that same type of emotion into these same people who did what they did in 2021. So I wanted to share this, and I would really love to know what you think about it in the comment section. But guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and I'm going to say bye.